Three, two, one.
Welcome again. How are you all? In the last lecture we talked about listening skill, and in this lecture we will talk about reading skills and their importance in teaching and teaching methods and strategies. Let's learn about these skills. What's the reading? Reading is an important part of learning English. This guide to how to improve your reading skills will help you improve reading by using skills you see in your own language. Reading skills refer to the specific abilities that enable a person to read with independence and interact with the message. Students at the university do a lot of reading unlike in secondary school. Some tips to help it having good reading skills are active reading and style of reading. Reading is considered as a passive skill, but the readers are not passive during the activity. One gets knowledge and pleasure by reading. Reading is an important activity to receive information, so it is receptive skills. It also means to update knowledge. It is a source of information and a pleasurable activity. Once the reading skill is acquired through comprehension exercise and fast reading material, the students can practice the skill without any guidance. It encourages self-study. The reading skill, when developed, is maintained at the high level by the students themselves without further help from a teacher. Through reading, readers can increase their knowledge and understanding of the culture of the other. Reading is an activity which is not limited to school life alone. It's a lifelong activity. What are the types of the reading skill? The first type is extensive reading, and second intensive reading, receptive reading, skimming, and scanning. What's the extensive reading? Extensive reading simply refers to the outside reading where students read on his or her own without any help or guidance from the teacher. It's a self-reading activity. And the second type is intensive reading. The main objective of intensive reading is to develop the ability to read and understand thoroughly. It includes getting the meaning of new words and structure of the language. This type of reading helps to gather facts and arrive at some conclusion on the basis of the facts. This is done with thinking and comprehension when the students prepare for the examinations. Intensive reading deals with analysis and lexical features of a language which the reader needs to understand the message. And the third type is receptive reading. Receptive is a skill or ways in which people extract meaning from the discourse they see or hear. There are generalities about this kind of processing which apply to both reading and listening. And the skimming from the reading types. Skimming in this, the reader read the whole passage repeatedly to get the main idea or gist of the passage. This is closely related to the speed reading and improve the eye span of the pupils. As the student read quickly to get the material, they must to be able to understand what's important in the reading material. And scanning is to read for specific information. While reading the text, scanning helps the pupils to search for the required information. pupils scan the given text to get the necessary points. Sub-skills of reading. Number 1, to identify the main idea, locate the central idea from the passage. Number 2, recognize the specific details. The student can understand the specific details from the passage. 3, to infer from a text. Number 4, the ability to interpret the text with the help from the previous knowledge, and recognize the purpose and attitudes of writer of their text, and the student can understand what the purpose from the passage. Number 5, the ability to comprehend the easy text and to read it fast and easily. The student can read the passage in a fast way and easily. This is elementary level. Number 6, to comprehend the difficult text and the ability to read it slowly, advanced level. Reading stages. The first stage is before reading, and the second stage while reading, and the last stage is after reading. The first stage is the before reading. Explore information, predict idea, and activate background knowledge. The first stage is the pre-reading, before diving into the reading assignment. Before you reading for a learning start, several strategies can help prepare your brain for a new information. The first purpose of the pre-reading activities is activating your prior knowledge on the topic you are about to read. And the second purpose is to evaluate the text you are about to read. And the second stage is while reading. Identify important information and confirm prediction. Underline new words. While reading, activities for the while reading are usually in 3 stages. Activities to encourage students to get an overall understanding of the text. This which encourages students to work out more detailed meaning, and those which focus on a particular grammar or a vocabulary. First stage question may include skimming or scanning question, and second stage question may include comprehension questions, questions of interpretation, evaluation, and personal response. The third stage question may include finding synonym, looking at grammatical patterns, identifying discourse marker, and the last stage is after reading. After reading activities go beyond the text to encourage students to make connections between what they have read and their own experience and to other areas of learning English. After reading activities may include a discussion, a task, a writing activity, and a role play, and pretty much anything. After selecting the reading material, the reader adopts some techniques to read. The techniques are survey, question, read and recite, and review, in a short called as SQ3R techniques. SQR techniques is used for a technique comprehension of a reading material. The acronym stands for survey, question, read, recite, and review. Students are encouraged to begin reading by surveying the contents, looking over the material, questioning to enhance understanding, reading with a purpose, reciting in search of the answer, and reviewing with the intent to remember. Survey means to look at or a close examination. This is to get the general idea of a book. First, survey the page and read it quickly. Skim the topic heading. Look at the picture, graph, chart, and diagrams, and a question or a summary at the end. A question. After the quick survey, question yourself based in the material. This helps to read with the purpose, looking for the specific answer and expecting essential points of the information. And the read means read repeatedly to have an overall idea. It helps to the reader to know where to get the type of information that is required. Receipt. At the end of each section, summarize the material by reciting the important points. This helps to remember the information and prepare for the following. And then review the material from single wall. Each section, without reading separately and at different time, will fit together into the total organization of the material that author intended. Methods of a teaching reading. There are different methods of a teaching reading. The first method is analyzing method. Analytic method gives more importance to individual letters and sounds of the alphabet. There are two types: alphabetic method and phonic method. And the second method is alphabetic method. Pupils learn the words by reading each letter of each word, spelling like apple. It's to read in a systemic way, and it's suitable in the early stages. It helps to learn spelling automatically. At the same time, it's a dull understanding, mechanical way of the learning. And the third method is a phonic method. In a phonic method, the pupils are helped to learn the sounds of the letter of the alphabet, and then they are helped to recognize the symbols. Sounds are taught in a well-planned manner. This method makes speech training very easy, and the pupils learn pronunciation of the sounds and words and sentences correctly. And the fourth method is the scientific method. In a scientific method, pupils are helped to learn words, phrases, and sentences. And the fifth method is the word method. This is also called as the look and say method. Pupils are asked to look at the words, picture, and say. Picture card or flashcard are used in the phrase method instead of the word phrase are taught. The eye jumps over a group of words and takes the phrase as a single unit when one read by this method. And the last method is the sentence method. In the sentence method, the sentence becomes the unit of the language. This helps to improve their eye span and speed in reading. It enables the students to acquire correct pronunciation with the proper stress, rhythm, and intonation. Now we have the tasks to develop reading comprehension. The first task is the comprehension of the phrase and sentence. Comprehension phrase or sentence. Teachers provide some written requests and commands on the board. Students have to read, understand, and perform the action. For example, bring your book and put it on the table. And the second task is recognition type. Recognition type. Teacher gives additional vocabulary word where the meaning of the words can be recognized. Students have to read and recognize. They can find out whether the given statements are true or false. And the third task is the recall type. Teacher asks sentences with some jobs, and students have to think and recall to complete the job. Fill in the blanks type of the questions. And the fourth type is the matching type. Matching type teacher provides two rows where they need to match one group with the other. And the five task is the multiple choices. Multiple choices teachers provides each statement with the four or five alternative answers. Among them, only one is the best suitable answer. Students have to read and identify the correct one. And the last task is the comprehension questions. Comprehension questions teacher provides open questions to answer. Students have to read the given passage and answer the questions. Thank you for attention.